cell phones increased almost 20-fold. Some of the stuff will become treasured heirlooms worthy of future generations. Some will be buried in landfills, turned to ash by incinerators, or, in rare cases, recycled into new goods and heirlooms. And some will persist, packed in basements, closets, attics, garages, and storage units. The precise breakdown is unknown, but there are hints. For example, one 2006 study of Los Angeles middle-class homes found that 90% of garage space is now used to store stuff, not automobiles. Americans aren't alone in their love of stuff, but they are unique in having so much space to store it. That's a luxury other people would love to have. For example, the Japanese are just as shopping mad as any CX-7 driving Tucsonan. But their homes are much smaller. So, to make room for new, many Japanese purge. There's nothing particularly unique in their approach, but millions of Americans, keen to bring order to their homes, have embraced what Marie Kondo, the entrepreneurial Japanese organizing consultant with bestsellers and a hit television series, calls the KonMari method. It's an enticing system. Keep only what sparks joy. Toss everything else. It also leaves open an essential and pressing question. What happens to all that stuff after it's been KonMari'd? I pondered the question for the first time in 2014, shortly after I published my first book, Junkyard Planet: Travels in the Billion-Dollar Trash Trade. In it, I followed U.S. recyclables like cardboard, shredded automobiles, and Christmas lights around the world, primarily to China, and argued that if what you toss into your recycling bin can be used in some way, the international scrap recycling business will manage to deliver it to the person or company who can do so most profitably. Readers soon contacted me to share how they recycle. Some wrote with descriptions and pictures of art projects that incorporate junked electronics like circuit boards and overhead projector lenses. Others offered detailed accounts of furniture and home restorations. I received notes from folks informing me that they were writing on computers and phones they'd repaired at home. And I was the lucky recipient of many, many invitations to visit flea markets, thrift shops, and antique stores. As the descriptions and invitations accumulated, I felt torn. It's good to have one's work appreciated, but my readers weren't writing to tell me about the sorts of things I described in Junkyard Planet, like giant multi-story automobile shredders. They weren't even writing to tell me about small-time junkyard dealers like my immigrant great-grandfather. Dealers who made a living by collecting and purchasing the waste of their neighbors and selling it to bigger industrial recyclers. Despite my best efforts, the most enthusiastic readers of my book, judging from the notes they send to me, understand recycle as shorthand for reuse. That's understandable. For most people in affluent countries, the process of recycling ends at the point they sort their trash into a recycle bin. The highly industrialized processes that follow belong to faceless others. In contrast, the buying and selling of used stuff is intensely personal. Anyone can hold a garage sale, purge their closets on eBay, or visit a flea market. Reuse and resale give consumers a rare, tangible connection to the afterlife of their stuff. 2 weeks after Junkyard Planet was published, my mother passed away unexpectedly. Like so many Americans with parents who accumulated stuff over a lifetime, my sister and I were left with an uneasy question. What do we do with her stuff? From a sentimental standpoint, it was hard to let go of anything for fear it meant something to her. From a practical perspective, neither of us had the space to keep much. My sister and her family live in a 2-bedroom New York City co-op. At the time, my wife and I rented a 1-bedroom Shanghai apartment. Our problem